to Real Laughs on Real Radio 104.1. I am your host, Miguel Colon speaking, joined in virtual studio with Jeff Kaufman from the Law Office of Kaufman and Lynn and Mr. James Yawn from the Lowdown with James Yawn on Xfinity. And fellas, before we went to the break, I was mentioning that there was something that I have a big pet peeve with, and it's something that, let me start with this. These people, I respect them. I respect what they're doing. I respect the athleticism of what they're doing. I respect their right to do it. But we've got to figure out if bicycles understand that they're vehicles on the road or if they think they're omnipotent gods that can do whatever they want. Jeff, what were you going to say?
Here's the flaw. As the attorney, as the guy who knows the law, this is where it's screwed up. Okay? We're supposed to consider them vehicles. We can agree on that. Okay.
Yes.
What happens? You can get a ticket for going so many miles below the speed limit. These guys never are even close to the speed limit. So that would mean that a police officer can pull them over for doing 15 and a 30 all the time. But they don't, because the bicycle says, I can't obviously get there. Then you are not a vehicle.
And now you could still get a DUI on a bicycle. Is that really correct,
On
Jeff?
a bicycle, on roller skates, on a skateboard, on a unicycle, a horse, you name it.
You could get a DUI on a horse, even though the horse is the one operating?
Oh, yeah.
What if the horse is drunk? Can he get a DUI, or do you get a DUI? You're like, if you're driving a drunk horse, who goes to jail?
Here's the thing. Animal is property, no matter what it is. It's considered property, other than when crimes against them. But an animal, as far as value and anything else, it's just how much the replacement value on it.
So if you are on a horse and you are drunk, you can get a DUI.
Yes.
That's crazy. You know, in Puerto Rico, where my grandmother lives in Arecibo, at night, there's a bar all the way down the hill. And she lives like going up these hills, like a mountain area. And at night, at like 3 o'clock in the morning, when the bar closes, I was asleep. I was staying over there. This is like 2 years ago. I was over there. And all I heard was all this click, 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 click. And I look outside, and it's nothing but horses coming back. These guys would take their horse down to the bar, get drunk. But here's the thing, Jeff. Some of them were asleep on their horse because the horse just knew to come back home.
Exactly.
When it was time to go.
Yep. That's like Colombia. Same thing.
Yeah, exactly. So same thing, Colombia. And I was like, that's great. And I can't believe, like, it'd be so horrible to be like, hey, I'm sorry. I've got to give you a DUI because you were asleep drunk on your horse. And I'd be like, yeah, but it's the horse was driving. And he was fine.
I have to do Puerto Rico. I have to do Puerto Rico with you.
Yeah.
Not like the average gringo who heads there, spends time on a special resort that has drinks, and you sit in the pool the whole time. I have got to go to Puerto Rico with an actual Puerto Rican
and just see Puerto Rico. Yeah.
Yes.
Because
my girlfriend's, her family's from Puerto Rico, and she goes, well, my dad says some weird stuff every once in a while. And the first time I sat down with him, we were eating barbecue, and he goes, oh, I had to leave Puerto Rico because of the aliens. And I'm going, you mean like illegal aliens? He goes, no, the ones in the sky. I'm going, the hell are you talking about? And he goes, aliens. They kept coming, strafing our farm. They kept attacking our farm. And I'm going, what kind of drugs do they have in Puerto Rico?
Jeff, here's the best part. You told me this story Wednesday when I saw you, when I brought Mike Busey over to do Under Oath. And you told me the story, and I was telling the story to my mom and my sister this weekend. I took them out for some Greek food, and I was like, yeah, Jeff was telling me that his girlfriend's dad was like, I had to leave Puerto Rico because of the aliens. And Jeff was like, oh, you mean like all the illegal aliens? And he was like, no, the aliens strifing my farm. And my mom was like, yeah, a lot of people see aliens in Puerto Rico. And I was like, there was no moment of her giggling like, oh, what a silly. She's like, yeah, I hope he got a good deal in his house, man.
And what was the look on your face when she said it?
I just nodded because I remembered my mom. I was like, "You're right. We an alien household." True. And this is the best part about me, guys. I can be so skeptical about stuff. I'm like, I don't know. You'd be like, "Do you believe in ghosts?" Man, I don't know. Blah 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 blah. And then the minute something is spooky, I'm like, "There's a ghost in the house. Get the hell out of here now!" It's science. We're leaving right now.
I'm with you, man. Some of the things that are unexplained, I'm like, man, that's a ghost, y'all.
Now I want you to play our country off. How crazy we are as a country.
Yes.
Less than 2 months ago, Congress had hearings on UFOs. And do you know how much it was covered by mainstream media? Nothing.
No,
Not at
because
all.
Amber Heard was dookie on beds, guys. We got to get our priorities. I mean, aliens are going to be there tomorrow. We've been hearing about them since the 50s.
They've
Amber Heard
been
just dookied on Johnny Depp's bed.
Bro.
I need closure.
Aliens have been around for years. When you get that one onion ring at Burger King, who do you think does that?
When you get that
Aliens.
secret onion ring, the message from
Yep.
the gods.
That's UFO
I
communication.
love the one onion ring in the fry bin when you
Yeah.
get fries. And
Yeah,
there's one.
absolutely.
Oh.
That's
I read an
second
article
alien.
on this kid was like, he was talking about how he worked in McDonald's, and he's like, every time somebody ordered a 6-piece or a 10-piece chicken nugget, he's like, I gave him one extra nugget, and I was just like slow clapping like this mother. This is the dude. This is that dude. That reason I'm like, where the I already ate 10. What's the gods shine upon me?
Yeah.
But hey, to this bicycle thing, this is where I'm having a problem, guys. I work for Mike Busey. I manage his production company, Who You Know Productions, and I manage his career and you know, his day-to-day stuff. And our offices are in Astatula, Florida, and that's near Mount Dora. And Mount Dora is a heavy cyclist community because there's hills. Claremont area is very similar like that. There's hills, and what happens is these cyclists, they don't just take up like one little side of the road, all nice and neat in a row. They're all on the road, right? So it's almost like I think about all the times people talk trash about like biker gangs. And I'm like, yeah, but I've never had a problem with the way biker gangs drive a motorcycle. They're organized in a line with a road captain running things. What do they always do? They either wave you over or they hold you back and everybody goes around. There's always some organization with them. And yeah, sure,
Agreed.
sex trafficking, violence, guns, but that's
Oh.
not my day-to-day problem. My day-to-day
No.
problem is road issues.
Yes.
And these bicyclists, these are the real bikers we got to get rid of. These sons of bitches riding around in their biker shorts. You can see their whole package sticking out. They're just mocking me. You know, I'm just like, look at that. And then here's the thing, though. They take up the whole road. Like, have you guys ever had where
Yes.
bicyclists,
Yep.
they're
Yes.
not in a line. They're
Yes.
not like organized. And then
Yes.
another thing about it is they'll be going 8 miles an hour uphill and you're behind them and they don't pull. I remember this, guys, and I remember this, and you all did it too. When we were little kids and a car got behind us, we pulled as far to the side of the road as we could so the car could pass
Absolutely.
us. And then the car politely, slowly went beside us and went as far around us as it could so that
Yes.
everybody felt comfortable. And that's how, when I was a kid, you know, that's what you did when you were riding a bike. But I run into these cyclists and they're 8 miles an hour going uphill in Mount Dora in the middle of the road, and I'm stuck behind them. And I just, it aggravates me so much because if you, I saw a woman try to pass one and the guy was like, it was almost like the guy was offended that she tried to pass him.
Wow.
And then another big problem I have is they'll get to a red light, no cars are coming, and they'll run the red light. And I'm like, at what point are we all following the rules of the road? You know,
Not them. Apparently, if you have biker shorts on, you can do what you want.
that's it.
Mhm.
That's
See,
it.
now there are people out there listening to us right now. They're going, "Oh, you don't understand. We're helping the environment. We're doing this. We're doing that." Shut up.
Yeah.
You know something? It's just something that I got to tell you. I can't imagine anybody listening to much rap music on their bikes.
Right.
Got to be honest with you. It sounds like just a bunch of white men in their 30s, early 40s who want to hang out with their guys. They don't have enough huevos to get motorcycles, so they do this.
Ah, okay.
And
Okay.
you know, I'm part of a bunch of motorcycle clubs.
Right.
And let me make it clear, these guys are pretty solid dudes. These guys know right and wrong. These bike guys are like they're male Karens. That's
Yeah.
what that is. They're just a group of male Karens
are,
on their
man.
bike going, "You need to wait for me. Why should I give up 20 seconds of my life because you want to wear a potato in the wrong side of the pants?"
Yeah,
I mean,
it's like why isn't the biggest vehicle on the road setting the standard? The
Yeah.
biggest animal in the jungle sets the standard, you know?
Absolutely. Mhm.
I would love to get one of those illegal horns, you know, the ones that the truck horns.
Oh,
I
I
got
love
one on,
those.
I got the air horn on the
And just
SUV.
lay into them and
Yeah.
go, "Hey, listen, I'll make you a deal. I'll stay behind you, but I'm going to be as annoying as you are to me."
Oh my gosh. You guys have one of those on your vehicle?
On the SUV that we have for, because hornblasters.com, shout out to Matt from hornblasters.com, is a friend of ours. So he hooked all our golf carts and everything up. We have train horns on all of our vehicles.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
That is obnoxious and I love it.
Oh, it's so one time I was picking my sister up. My younger sister works downtown, and I was picking her up for work, and I was going to take her out for some dinner. And I was like, hit the horn, hit the horn. There was a bunch of people walking, and it was like, "Brrr," and they all looked at it. Or I hit the horn, and then she was laughing. She's like, "You're such an a-hole," and I was like, "You do it, you do it, you do it." And then instead of hitting the horn, she accidentally hit the ignition cutoff. And so the vehicle just stopped. Now the people are just looking at us, and I'm like, "You do, what do you do? What do you do? What did you do?" She's like, "I hit the button." I'm like, "Trisha, just shut up, get out of here, get out of here. We gotta get out of here now." Because we had just been such obnoxious a-holes to a group of people like walking away, and I was like, "Do it again."
Those horns are the loudest thing in your head. Like it's just crazy when you hear it.
I did something over the weekend. My girlfriend's birthday is in July.
Nice.
And she was a little drunk, and she leans over and she goes, "Will you go to New Kids on the Block with me?" I'm going, "No,
Ooh.
I'm sorry. I think out of all the things that I would not want to suffer through, that's probably on the high end of it. Because I think a dog show, I'll go to a dog show.
Damn.
I'll go to a horse, I'll polo thing. But to sit there with, let's just say a lot of elderly women who are still remembering the days they used to.
They don't even have
underwear.
songs that rock out anymore. It's not even like going to go see like Boys II Men where you're like, this rocks out.
Yeah,
so I bought her the ticket. I said, "I'm going to make you a deal," and this is a fair thing because I don't know whether the lawyer and me. I'm going to buy you the tickets for you to take a friend.
Yeah,
that sounds like a good thing. I'm going to buy you good tickets.
Yeah.
And I said, you want to be there with somebody who's rocking with you, not somebody who's going, "My God, I want to die."
Yeah,
no. I don't want to take people to a movie they don't like.
And you were probably never a New Kids fan. It's not like a band that you were a fan of once. You were probably never a New Kids fan.
Never.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing I like him on Blue Bloods, but outside of that, that's all I know.
Exactly. I'm a Donnie Wahlberg fan.
I'm a Donnie Wahlberg fan.
Yes.
Yeah. I just don't want to see. I'm not a fan of Donnie Wahlberg's music. His catalog isn't something that I'm dying to hear. It'd be like saying, "Hey, Mark Wahlberg's going on tour with the Funky Bunch. Have fun. Let me know when The Departed 2 is coming out." That's what I want to see.
Yeah, I mean that's hard, but I gave her I bought the tickets for her, so she wakes up in the morning and she goes, "Did you buy me tickets?" I said, "Yes, I did."
Yeah, because
I want you to enjoy it on your birthday.
There you go.
And she goes, "You're still not coming?" I'm still not coming.
I want you to enjoy it on your birthday. I don't want you to have to hear crap the whole time because I'm going to ruin it accidentally.
Oh,
and sometimes
it's horrible.
And sometimes I like to tell people that I think I'm going to accidentally ruin this because it's just something I don't want to do at all. And it's not something I have to do. When it's something I don't want to do at all and I have to do, I'm like, suck it up because you got to do this. But when it's something I don't want to do and I chose to do it, that's when I mess up. And it's visceral on me that I'm not having a good time.
And you don't get the best James when you force me to do something.
Yeah.
I'll do it begrudgingly, but you're not gonna get fun.
Did you go to those BTS concerts with your kids? Or you just drop them off?
Dropping them off.
Drop them off because
I drove to Miami.
Yeah,
and drove them back the same night.
Wow, but that was still, still within the rules of I'll do this. You were still like, this is what I'll do. I don't want to go to the concert,
but
I'll drive you to Miami, hang out somewhere, and then pick you up.
Mm-hmm.
But it's the worst too. We gotta go commercial soon. But I hate when you make an offer like that. People are like, but I don't want you to have to do that. No. What you have to understand is the alternative of me going is far worse to me.
Absolutely.
That's how sometimes when my mother
win girlfriend.
Yeah, when my mom wants to visit family somewhere far, I'm like, I'll drive you over there and then just hang out in like Fort Lauderdale and come back and get you. And she's like, yeah, but you're gonna be tired. I'd rather you just stay. Then I'm like, I don't want to be there.
Nope.
I don't want to be there. And the reason is because when you're visiting, I know we got commercial real quick. And we'll talk about this when we come back. But when we come back, I want to talk about this. When you're visiting family members you're not really close with, like my mom's second cousins and
awkward.
stuff. It's an awkwardness of having to feel like you guys are family and also not really wanting to do anything with them. When we come back for break, I'm going to talk about Radio 104.1. You're tuned in right now with my man James Yon from The Lowdown with James Yon and Mr. Jeff Kaufman, stand-up comedian, comic book artist, movie aficionado nerd, and very successful lawyer. He can practice law in every state and 2 planets. This week also, Jeff's doing a big thing, guys. Jeff, tell them what's going on this Thursday.
Jurassic World Dominion. If you can get me your email, it's at contest@kaufmanlin.com. And we have some tickets left over. So, you can come enjoy the movie with like-minded people.
There you go.
And these
Like-minded people.
dinosaurs, they're like super intelligent and can communicate with each other. Okay.
No, they're
And
real
like
dinosaurs.
people defeat them and they never have to deal with this again. No, babe, they just leave and keep coming back. And then she was like, "That's so unrealistic." I was like, "Oh yeah, Iraq."
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, okay. Sometimes we just leave places and come back and hope it's good again.
Right. Yeah,
You know?
exactly right.
But hey, before the commercial break, we were talking about something that, and I don't know, Jeff. I'm gonna ask this honestly as we talk about this. I know with like Southern Black families and Latino families, we genuinely have really big extended families, and there are still times to this day where my mom will introduce me to somebody in the family and be like, "Hey," and what it is we will use this term, Jeff. This is your cousin. Now it's my mom's third cousin. But we don't like distinguish like that in like the Latino community. It's just, here's your cousin. Or my mom will say, this is my cousin, letting me know that it's a bit removed from me. But what will happen a lot of times is my mom has family out in Poinciana, the great holy land of all Puerto Ricans that have made the great trifecta. The Puerto Rican trifecta is Puerto Rico, New York, Florida. And then and their final burial, the elephant burial grounds of old Puerto Ricans is Kissimmee, DeLand, or Poinciana.
That is true.
Also, go there. And sometimes my mom will ask me, she'll be like, and I feel like, and this is the thing, I feel like it's the duty of the son or any of the children to make sure, like, if my mom wants to go somewhere far or spend a day somewhere, all the things she's ever done for me, I could give up a Saturday to drive my mom wherever she wants to go. Here's where I don't want to do. I don't want to hang out all day with family members I don't really know that well in a non-party setting. Now, if my mom is like, "Hey, my second cousin is having a barbecue, let's go over," I'm like, "Let's go now." Because I know we'll be eating and hanging out and there'll be a vibe. And it doesn't matter what.
Yes, that's a different vibe. Yes.
Different vibe. But this is what'll happen. I'll take my mom to go see like one of her second cousins or one of her aunts. And I will now have to walk into a house that's 80 degrees with baseball on TV and like a minor league game that I don't even care about. And then I get there at like 10:30 in the morning. I already ate and they're cooking for me. And I don't really want to eat right now, but then there's nothing else to do. And then my mom and her aunt or her cousins will sit around drinking coffee and catching up. And every 20 minutes or so, while I'm watching a baseball game I don't care about, they'll come to talk to me and be like, "Come on, do you want this? Do you want this?" And then they will force. So like one of my second cousins I don't know will walk in the house looking at me like, "Who's this guy?" And they'll be like, "Oh, this is your cousin." And they'll be like, "Saul, this is your cousin Miguel, Saul." And I'm like, "Hey." And then we are in our 40s and our mothers will be like, "Hang out with your cousin."
They set you up on a play date.
On a play date so they can hang out. And I'm like,
I'm
40 years old.
Yeah.
I don't hang out with people I don't. And Saul was looking at me like, I just got off work. I was kind of hang out in this 80-degree house that I'm used to, you know? And then it is an irritating thing to me that sometimes at 40 years old, the family member who's been around the world, other than my father, I've been on more continents than pretty much anyone else in my family. I've been independent since I was like 16 years old. When I am with my family, sometimes they still want to subject me to things like I'm a child. I literally had my mom say, I was going to go, I forget, this was like a few years ago. And I was like, I think I'll fly up to New York to do some shows. I was like, I want to go see, I guess I'll see my grandmother while she was still living there. I was like, I'll swing by and see my aunt and go see my grandmother. And my mom was like, if you go to your grandma's, you should just stay there. I was like, why? I was like, something wrong? I'm like, is something wrong with my grandma? Something been happening? Like, what do you need? Yeah. She's like, I don't want you taking the subway that late. And I'm like, I am a grown ass man who's I've been to like 4 continents. Like, and it's to me, I'll tell you guys, this is my therapy session, guys. It's so demoralizing because I'm like, I am the one everyone in this household would go to if they needed something like done far away. If you need, I'll drive to Texas right now if that's what we needed to do. And when I'm surrounded by all my old relatives, I now am Papito, the young boy, and I want to punch people.
Talk about it.
My mom has literally said, because I would tell her, I'd be like, yeah, I'll take you out to Poinciana to go see your aunt. Because my mom's not too old, man. My mom's beautiful still, young, old, but she can't drive at night. Like at night, it gets too dark for her to see. So I'm like, oh, I'll take you. I was like, I'll take you over there. And she'd be like, is there a Saturday that you, and she's also super cool about being like, hey, look, I know you got a lot going on. Is there maybe a Saturday that you could take me over there? And I'll be like, yeah, I'll take you over there. And what I'll do is I'll come back and then I'll come pick you up. And then she's like, I don't want you driving all the way back. And I'm like, I don't want to stay. So, you know, like,
I'm with
James.
you. What my mom will do to me is this. You remember I told you guys I was born in the Tallahassee area, lived there until I was about 3, and I moved up here in Orlando. So what will happen is there's people that knew my family when I was 3 in Tallahassee. So what my mom loves to do is she calls it going home. I'm going to Tallahassee, baby. Come with me, come with me. I don't want to go, but at some point I do end up going with her.
Right. Because you're not going to let her, you got to help her out.
So she doesn't tell me that, because I agreed to come with her, she set up all these stops to all these people that knew me when I was 3 years old. And what'll happen is I'll get there. It's like, James, do you remember so-and-so? I'm like, no, I was 3 years old. You remember them? I'm like, I really don't. I was 3 years old. I'm happy to meet these people for the first time. And it'll be like, oh, cousin James, come on in, buddy. It's been so long. And I'm like, yes, it has, because I don't know who the hell you are. But okay. So
it's been long, and let me bring this up to you guys. I had many chances to come back. I want to make sure it's clear. I've passed by here probably 7 times.
Oh my God. And what will happen is it's a whole gambit of all day her taking me to places so people can say hi to me that I don't know or remember. And it's the awkward conversation of, so what have you done with your entire life? Because I don't know you. Like, yeah,
it's not even like, what have you been up to lately? It's like,
no.
Who are you?
Yeah.
You know?
And I'm like, just trying to get through it. Like, okay, this is fine. This is fine. And they're all having a good time because all the older people, like you said, like the parents and stuff, are all having a great time. And us kids, not even kids,
it makes you feel like you're a little kid again, and not in a fun way.
Yeah, like
I remember you when you were 3, you threw that diaper, and I don't.
I don't remember any of that.
I don't hear about you talking about my poo.
Yeah.
We don't talk about my poo anymore. That's something we stopped doing years ago, except for the one incident.
I got something for it.
Jeff, what's up?
Hit it.
I think you're gonna like this.
Yes.
I made a rule. Once I hit a certain age, I made a rule, and I think it's very important. It's called setting proper expectations with your family and people around you. If they know who you are, then they go, that's just the way Jeff is, and that's what you wanted. My rule is this: I don't have to go to a function if it's not related to somebody above me or directly below me.
Got you. Like a
your
niece
left
is
and
directly
right
below you.
Nieces, second cousins, all this other stuff. No, I will send you a gift.
Yes.
Okay.
Now, if I clearly want to go, like if this is a special moment and it's everyone's dying, but outside of that, I'm not going.
Yeah. Jeff, I like your rule.
You know what? People actually go, Jeff, that's a stupid rule. And then a month later, they're going, you know what?
That's a great rule.
Sounds like a plan. Because you know
what?
We only get so much time on this planet.
Yeah,
that's right.
And if I spend 3 listening to this day where I was running around in a diaper that I don't remember, it seems like a waste of my time.
And you know what? That's a great rule to have, because I've learned in my older age, life's too short to do things you don't want to do.
Yeah.
You're so right about that, man. That's one thing that I think millennials figured out a lot sooner than everyone else. They did. If I don't want to do this, I don't have to. And I'm not going to do it.
Yeah,
I'm not feeling it.
Yeah, that's one of the things that when we look at them, they're almost like the girl in Labyrinth. They're like, you have no power over me, power over me, power. And like,
it's true. It's
when
true.
millennials, when millennials are just like, hey man, I'm not going to work this job anymore. I'm not feeling it. I'm like, you can do that.
Yeah, we were like, you could just do that?
They're like, yeah. James, have you seen Top Gun yet? You haven't seen it either, have you?
James,
it's amazing.
Okay, James, please tell me you caught, and this is something that most people won't even think about.
Okay.
Jennifer Connelly owns the bar.
Yep.
What's the song being played in the background? It's a song by David Bowie.
Oh, because Labyrinth with her.
Yes, because you remind me of the Babe. All that. Okay, gotcha.
And it's he's singing. There's a Bowie song playing in the bar that she owns behind, and I looked over and everybody was like, "Oh my god, you can Labyrinth!" Everyone's looking at me like I'm on the pipe. That was
Man,
fun. Y'all
Jeff, I gotta
texted.
go see a movie with you
bro.
because that's what I love. I love when it's like,
Hey,
tapping
I was
each
like
other.
clapping and
Easter
clapping. I
eggs.
was like
Yeah.
looking
Easter
over.
eggs, yeah.
I was like my boy Jacob. I was
Yeah.
excited. I'm going, there's a Bowie. And everyone's looking at me. What are you talking about? Labyrinth. You know, Jennifer Connelly, Bowie.
Yeah.
Shit.
Everything
You're all
I
dead to me.
do, I
You're
do
all
for
dead to
you.
me.
I
Your
move the
eyes
sky
can
for
be
no one.
so cruel.
Yes.
You got to do the finger thing. You got to do the finger thing. you
Yeah,
know, with the
the
balls.
ball.
It's me,
Yeah.
Dave Bowie.
Such a
Hello,
great
fellas.
movie.
Yes.
I've been
Remind me
hooking
of
up
the
with
watch us.
Puzzle.
Bluto friend.
Yep.
Jeff, I got this whole idea that David Bowie didn't even know Labyrinth was a movie the whole time he was on it. And then he was just sitting there on set. He's like, what do you mean these are puppets? Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Huggle, did you know these were puppets? And you're a puppet too? You mischievous minx. And then they were like, hey, David, I'm glad you fit into your wardrobe. Wardrobe? I wore this when I came here. Your cod piece was too unflattering. I wore
You're
one of
wearing-
my smallest.
but you're
Jennifer
wearing
Connelly, how
eyeshadow.
old are you? 14? Excellent. This will be just like real life. That reminds me of the time I was talking to Huggle 20 odd years ago. What do you mean I just met him and he's a puppet? Please don't tell me my life. I'm David Bowie. Give me a second. I'm going to make out with Mick Jagger. Yes, I said it.
A second. Just a
It's
second.
one of my favorite. One of my favorites.
Bro, it's
Oh, yeah.
amazing. Amazing, man.
Don't
That-
rebuck it, people.
Bog of eternal stench.
Dog of Eternal
Yeah.
Stitch. That's what. Hey,
Yes.
that's what my mom called my hamper one time when I was in high school because I just had stinky socks in there, and she was like, "Oh, you take the Bog of Eternal." My feet stunk so bad in high school. I had like that puberty sweatiness, and I would just play outside all day. In like ninth grade, my first year of high school, my feet stunk so bad that I was like washing my socks in the sink when I got home because I was embarrassed of putting them in my hamper.
It was
But
like
I
that?
had high school stank feet, man, for like all of ninth grade. Ninth grade was when like my beard started coming in, and I had this. I couldn't help. The worst part is my beard came in. It was like Russia taking the Ukraine. It had spots it was holding,
wow.
and then
Oh, yeah,
spots that
spotty
were
when
just
it first
not
comes in.
occupied.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. They just put up it's a patchy when you first get
Where
it.
was the worst pimple you guys ever had? I got one on the bridge of my, like right here, like where you get a unibrow that wouldn't go away for like 2 weeks. And it looked like, and it was so bad. I still remember this girl, Jennifer, told me, she was like, ew, what is that? Your puberty shut off button?
Wow. I got one right here on the inside of my nose.
Ooh, those hurt.
Yeah.
So bad.
Oh.
Oh my god, so bad. And it was nasty too. So yeah, you can't pop it.
I hated
Can't
the
do
ones that
anything
were
with it.
right around the sides
Oh,
of
the
the mouth.
Yeah.
Oh,
so
because they were
tender.
like where the food went.
Uh-huh.
And
So
you
tender.
pick it, and then suddenly you'd be bleeding on the side of your face. Yeah, no.
I'm glad I
Oh
never
my
got
God.
back knee. I remember the dudes who had like the killer back knee. They take
Oh,
their shirt
yeah.
off. I already had boobs, so taking my shirt off was like, here we go. Here we go. And then if the dude
Man.
had back knee, then it was just worse.
Oh my gosh. That's
Oh,
disgusting.
man. Well, hey
Feel for those
guys,
people.
remember this Thursday, if you want to see the new Jurassic Park movie, Jeff, what do they got to do?
They got to go to contests@kaufmanlin.com and also listen to me under oath on Saturday. Or if you want to just stream it, it's on every streaming service at Under Oath at Jeff Kaufman.
That's what's up, guys. We'll be on behalf of myself, James Yawn, and Jeff Kaufman. We love you guys. Thank you so much for being a part of our program and listening. And you can catch us the rest of this week every night from 9 to 10 p.m. except for Fridays. And you can catch Under Oath. Jeff, when does it go? When does it go live?
Under Oath is on 8 o'clock in the morning. It goes live on YouTube. We have it's recorded live. It's also recorded here. It's recorded there. So YouTube, streaming, or you can listen to it on 104.1 from 8 to 9 on Saturday mornings.
That's what's
Nice.
up. On behalf of myself and the guys, we love you guys. Thank you for listening to Real Laughs on Real Radio 104.